Dear listeners, my name is Anthony Clark.
And I'm Melanie Clark.
And we are the
Amazing Clarks.
We're both award-winning certified life and love coaches and a husband and wife duo that have been coaching together as a team for 24 years and that have been passionately in love for 32. They call us the Amazing Clarks because we empower people to live amazing lives.
And we're here to help you get from where you are to where you want to be in life and love. Love the Amazing Clarks is our personal love letter to all of you that love as much as we do.
And I believe in love. You believe in love, baby?
I believe in love.
That's right.
Yes, I do. Yes,
so,
I do.
On today's podcast, we're going to talk about freedom in relationships. Freedom in relationships. Is it possible to be in a relationship and still feel free? Or do you have to put the cuffs on and feel locked down? Which one is it?
What if they like the cuffs, though? They might like it. I don't know.
Hey, to each his own.
Yeah.
You know, whatever
that's
works
part of
for
freedom,
you, that works
right?
for you.
That's part of freedom.
Exactly.
If you like it, if you like to be cuffed up, that's part of being free.
That's right. That's right. I agree.
So let me ask you this, Anthony. Do you feel free in your relationship?
Well, let me start by this. The reason I think that this topic is so important to listeners is because, let's say, for example, you have a lot of single people out there that want to be in relationships, but they have this big fear that if they get into a relationship that they're going to lose their freedom. And they've seen that happen with their family members, with their friends, and maybe some of them that's happened to them in past relationships as well.
Or even their parents.
Or even their parents.
Yeah.
And then you have people that are currently in relationships and are feeling a sense of a loss of freedom. And they feel trapped. And they're considering, what can they do about it to change it? Is there something that you can do about it? Is there such thing as a committed romantic relationship where you still feel free? What if you can have them both, the best of both worlds?
You could have it
amazing.
all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, they want that, but they don't know how to get there. And many of you listeners, you may be in that same exact situation. So on today's podcast, my goal is to help you to find that freedom even while you're in that relationship. You can have it all. You can have the best of them.
I agree. I feel really excited about this topic, and I'm going to tell you why.
Why you feel so excited?
Well, because there's so many ways to look at it, right? So when you talk about being free in a relationship, I think that's kind of a foreign concept to most people because we think of commitment as we have to give up part of ourselves. We have to compromise. Like you and I have talked for many years about, this whole idea, if you're in a relationship, you have to compromise. We like to look at it like, why should you compromise? How about you negotiate? How about you come up with something that works for both of you and you negotiate the terms of what that may be, right? So that you both feel like you're getting what you want out of the relationship.
Right.
And I think that people just go into relationships expecting to have to give up a part of themselves. And the reason this is really exciting me is you and I have been doing a lot of couples coaching on couples going to 2.0 relationships. And what that's about is you really designing the type of marriage relationship that you want to have. You don't have to stick to the roles. Like a lot of couples are struggling with trying to fit into the roles. They don't actually want those roles. A lot of couples are working on going to 2.0, which is really designing the relationship that you want and not trying to force yourself into traditional roles, right? It's really about being honest about who you are, what your capacity is, what you're passionate about, and then joining forces, right? And allowing each other to be exactly who you are. So here's an example of what I'm talking about. A lot of women go into relationship feeling like there's an obligation for sex, right? Like I'm married, this is what I'm supposed to do. So they'll have sex when they don't really want to, and they start to become resentful. So they don't really feel like they have freedom in the relationship. They feel like they have to do that. That's just part of being married. So when we've coached people where it's like, it really is just a negotiation and being able to say, I'm not there and I don't want to force myself to be there just because I'm married. I don't want to force myself to cook because I'm a woman and I'm married. Men get the same freedom too, right? I don't want to have to provide all the finances because I'm the man, right? And so I don't want to be the only one that's in this role. And so people don't feel free because they're trying to still fit into traditional roles in a very modern society. And over time, especially because we've evolved, it's
Hmm.
gonna break down. Most traditional couple, it's going to start to break down because
Right.
we, as individuals, we have more freedom, right? There's more for us to do, there's more for us to want, there's more desire, so we're going to want more life individually.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
agree.
why I'm excited about the topic.
When in my first marriage, I really felt trapped,
Hmm.
and I felt like I couldn't be myself. I had to fit
Mm.
into this character that everybody expected me to be, of this traditional husband.
Hmm.
And I've never been a traditional person,
Nope.
and it was very uncomfortable. I hated it, to be honest.
Hmm.
And so when I left that marriage, one of the most important things to me was my freedom.
Hmm.
I wanted the freedom to be me. I didn't want to have to feel bad about who I was, to apologize about what I was or what I wanted or how I wanted it. And that was my goal. I wanted to be in a relationship. I knew I would find love, but in order for me to be in it, I had to have the love plus the ability to be myself.
Hmm.
And what I realized is that in order to have that, I have to be that. I have to put that out there. When I was dating, I made it a point, first of all, to know what do I need to feel free.
Hmm.
My freedom for me is going out when I want to go out,
Mm.
hanging out with who I want to hang out with, staying out as long as I want to stay out. It's having that freedom to, you know,
Do you?
do me completely.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I
Makes sense.
realized that in my first marriage, I played the role during dating.
Hmm.
Like I can fit into that box.
Yeah.
But then I realized that box is a trap. So once I started dating, it was like, no, I'm not going to fit into that box. I'm
Hmm.
going to be me. And yes, I might frustrate the hell out of some women and they might run away screaming, but oh well, that means
Yeah.
that they're not the one for me.
Yeah.
But I had to keep putting that out. This is who I am. This is who I am. Take it or leave it. But likewise, I was willing to give that back to that who would ever be my partner. I would give that same respect back.
Right.
So when I met you, one of the things that made you stand out was that it was for the first time I could be myself
Right.
110%, but still have that relationship with you. So I had
Hmm.
the best of both worlds.
Right.
And there were times when in the beginning, there was some areas where there was a little bit of, hey, don't do that. You're supposed to do it this way. And we got into it. And we came to, an understanding where we both saw eye to eye, and you allowed me that space to have my freedom. But I think I also got it because I was the example for
Mm.
you. I gave
Yeah.
that back to you. You could shop, you can be you, you can wear what you want, you can say what you want, do you, boo boo. That
Yes.
was what that makes me happy. When my partner's happy,
Yeah.
that makes me happy.
Yeah.
And if being you makes you happy, even if it's things I don't always agree with, that's okay.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, as long as I see that smile on your face, I am good.
Yeah. Well, I would agree with that. I feel more free in my relationship with you than any relationship I've ever had, including my parenting relationship. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, even as a kid, I didn't have the freedom that I have in relationship with you. And I think sometimes when we don't feel free as young people and then we get married, we kind of create the same dynamic that we had growing up, right? Where
Mhm.
someone's dominating me,
Right.
someone's controlling me.
Right.
But you really pushed me to be free.
Right.
You really pushed me to do the things that I want to do. And you did that through, appreciation and love and really, I've talked about this before, holding space for me, like seeing a version of me that maybe I couldn't see for myself.
Mhm.
And I know I came into our marriage with a lot of ideas about what roles should be because I had been married before, right?
Right.
I was married, I owned a home, I had two kids, I was traditional Susie girl. I
Mhm.
mean, so I just thought I was just going to duplicate that same um, type of dynamic with you, and you just really valued freedom so much that you let me know from the get, like, we are not logging anything down, we're not
No.
doing this, we're not doing that, this is how I am. And I learned, like, wow, you can love someone and appreciate someone and have them be different than what you think. You can love them beyond
Expectations.
expectations. Why can I not say that today?
So I
But
got you.
but that's a huge thing right there, right? Like, being able to love someone beyond your expectations.
Mhm.
To me, like that's real true love,
Right. You
right? Because
yeah,
if people are just doing whatever you want all the time, and it's easy to love them. It's when they're like,
yeah,
"Yeah, no, I ain't doing that. Don't want it. Never gonna do it. What else?"
right.
Then it's like, "Ooh,
You
I gotta accept that about you."
yeah,
That's not easy
and you
always.
know, and it blows my mind, and it's easy to say that, "Oh, women do this," but actually, I think I've seen it more just as much in men.
Oh, dude. Oh, let me get in here. Well, do
And
tell.
so,
What are men doing, Anthony?
have a family member,
Yes.
and his wife wanted to take a job,
Mm-hmm.
a higher paying job, but it would require her to leave town a couple of days a week.
Mm-hmm. For a
And
couple of months,
for a
right?
couple of months.
Yeah.
And he told me, you know what? Hell no. Who the hell she thinks she is to leave? I'm going to tell her she can't do it. And she can't do that. No, she needs to be here to raise the family, and she can't go. And I'm going to tell her no. And I was like, excuse me, who the hell are you? Who do you think you are to
Yeah.
be able to tell that grown ass woman
Mm-hmm.
that she can't pursue her career and go to higher levels because of your insecurities, because you feel that she's supposed to be home with you. So when you get home, your meal is cooked.
Mm.
And I told him, if you do that, it's going to come back and bite you in the ass in a way that you could never
Mm-hmm.
imagine. If
Mm-hmm.
she were to say to listen to you and say no, she would resent you for the rest of her life.
Yep.
She would be passive aggressive. Your life would be hell, my friend. And he fought me on it, but he allowed it to happen. I won't
Mm-hmm.
even sound like they were saying the word. He allowed it.
he
It
went along
yeah, he went
without
along.
without a fight. We'll
Right.
say that.
And in the long run, it worked out better for both of them, you know.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this
Hmm.
now. In your first marriage, did you feel like you had freedom?
Oh no. Oh no, honey. That's why I left. I did not feel free. And you know, the chains of
Mhm.
that relationship showed up in the form of judgment.
Damn, Jingle.
Yeah. So the lack of freedom came from
Mm.
just feeling judged so harshly
Uh-huh.
that I was always walking on eggshells.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't do that. And you can't do
That's the
this. And you're not
worst.
supposed
That
to do
is
that.
the
Why did
worst.
you do this? What were you thinking? What's wrong with you? You're so
Yeah.
dumb. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
The criticism, the judgment, it's just draining and it
Yeah.
just kills the love. So it made me a little paranoid. And then it made me also, and we've worked through this in our relationship, it made me shut down at times,
Mm-hmm.
right? And be
Right.
like, I'm just not going to say anything. I'm just not going to ask for what I want. I'm just going to go along because it's almost like a sense of getting in trouble.
Mm.
Like marriage can feel like sometimes like, oh, I'm going to get in trouble. My husband's going to be mad at me. My wife's going to be mad at me. I'm in trouble.
Yeah, make you feel
No,
like a
we're
kid.
grown ass
Yeah.
people. We
Yeah.
do not have to feel like we're going to get in trouble from our spouse. And you were really good about that because I would do stuff and you would say stuff like, I'm not your oppressor. I'm not here to oppress you. Do whatever you want. And I'd be like,
Mhm.
what? Really? I can? I can go out and stay out all night?
You could do whatever you like. You
I
could
can
do.
hang out with my friends?
Mhm.
So the point is, freedom comes from your partner. It comes from you. It comes from you deciding who you are and what you need and being able to communicate that and giving that back to your partner, not saying, I own you now. I have all
Mhm.
these expectations and you have to fit in the mold that I created for
Yes.
you
Yes.
for me to be happy
Mhm.
because that's not going to work.
And the ironic thing about it, with most people that feel insecure about their partner having freedom
Hmm.
and that try to, police them,
Hmm.
it typically doesn't even have anything to do with them. It's them worried about what other people will think.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
them worried about what their family members will think
Hmm.
or their friends will think. And so they base it on that.
Yeah.
And, you know, in order to have that freedom in your relationship, you got to get to the point where you can't give a damn what other people think,
Yeah.
including family members.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's
true.
not very easy for most people to get to that point.
Yeah. Well, again, this is the next level for people because people have always been told relationship is ownership. And so if you want to have a really connected,
Mhm.
loving relationship, you have to work on your own expectations of
Right.
your partner. If they don't line up, you have to say like I love you enough to understand that you need to be you. I chose you as you. You are you. And it's not my job to change you, fix you, turn you into something different. It is my job to love you as you show up and be there for you as you grow through life. And I grow through life doing that for each other.
Yeah.
And there's freedom in that.
And there's a balance.
Mm-hmm.
There's a delicate balance. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't just go buck wild crazy and be
Yeah.
like, I'm free, and just go run solo.
Yeah.
You still have to take into account, like, be considerate of my partner,
Well,
to a degree,
yeah. You know what I've found, Anthony? Like I kind of chuckled in the beginning of the podcast when you
Babe,
said,
you
like, I
chuckled.
wanted, yes, I
I
chuckled.
don't think
Watch
I
me
ever heard
chuckle.
you chuckle.
I
Chuckle,
chuckled.
chuckle,
Chuckle.
chuckle. That's cute.
I chuckled.
You're
Yes, I
adorable.
did.
You're
I
adorable.
chuckled when you said, oh, I want to be free. If I want to be free to go to the club, free to go out with my friends. Anthony, you have all the freedom in the world and you don't never be going with your friends and you'll never be going to the club. And the thing that I want to say about freedom is when you give someone freedom, they don't feel the need to do a bunch of stuff that you don't want them to do. And I noticed that with you in our I was going to say in our teens, in our 20s, when I was insecure about you going out with friends and you staying out late, and I was super jealous, and I thought every woman on the planet wanted you, and I needed to, keep track of you. And I remember we had an argument about you staying out late, and you said, I don't answer your calls because you're going to make me feel bad, and I'm having a good time, and I don't want to stop having a good time. And then I said, well, I'm at home with our baby and worried about you. And I think you're dead in a ditch somewhere if you don't answer my call. And you said, I'll start answering your calls because I don't want you to worry about me, but don't give me a hard time for having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And I agreed. And I stopped giving you a hard time. And something miraculous happened. You just slowly stopped going out with your friends all the time. You just slowly stopped staying out late. You outgrew it. And on your own, you had the freedom to become more family oriented. As our baby started to get older, you wanted to spend more time with the family. Like I guess you didn't
Right.
feel like you needed that the way that you needed it before. And I kind of took it as giving you the freedom made it like, it's not that big of a deal.
The freedom is knowing that I have the choice.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I act upon it or not, that's not really it. It's the choice. And that to me is freedom.
Yeah.
And that part was the important part to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not an action figure husband that you just put on the shelf and put me in a box and put me on the shelf. You can't do that to me.
Nor do I want to.
Yeah, there's actually another term for it. I'm not an action figure that you can put in the box, put it on the shelf.
No, you're not. No, you are not.
No. And in actuality, when I feel controlled, I feel a sense of anxiety.
Yeah.
And I can't do it. You know, even like wearing this turtleneck right now.
Mm-hmm.
For many years, I couldn't wear a turtleneck because I didn't feel free. And I would always be like, ugh, ugh. And I just got to the point where I could actually wear them.
You look really cute in turtlenecks.
Thank you, Boo Boo.
You're welcome, Boo Boo.
I love you. I love you. Like you too. I like you too.
All right, let's wrap this up. So you didn't.
Before we go,
you never answered my question that I asked you in the beginning.
What was it? Go ahead. What was
Do
the question?
you feel free in your relationship?
Do I feel free in my relationship with you?
Yes.
The overwhelming amount of time, yes. I don't think that there'll be 100% of freedom. Like I said, 100% you just go buck wild. You might as well just be single. And that's not what I signed up for. So I'm a team player.
Okay.
And I don't need complete freedom. I just need freedom. I don't need freedom. I just need freedom. Freedom.
Okay. You know what? I feel the same.
Yeah, and I'm good.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm good, boo-boo.
Glad to hear it.
Yes.
I feel good about that.
Yeah. I do want to share one more thing that was kind of weird that just hit me.
What's that?
For many years, I felt weird about wearing a wedding ring because I felt like it was a sign of taking away my freedom. Because, of my first marriage and the trauma connected to that.
Yeah.
It was when I put on a ring, it was like, I feel like it was a shackle, like a sign that you have no freedom. You are owned.
Shackle.
And I didn't like it, so I had to coach myself through that.
Yeah.
And I realized it was my trauma, But now I wear my ring with pride.
Yes.
I'm happy to wear it.
Well, we had to negotiate that,
Mm-hmm.
right? You let me know when we got married you didn't want to wear a ring, which was weird to me, but you explained it to me, and I was like, okay, you ain't wearing
Yeah.
a ring.
And now
That's just what that is. I got my ring.
Yeah.
That's all I'm worried about.
And now I'm like, precious, precious.
Yes, you are. Where's my ring? Where's my ring, babe? Where's my ring?
Exactly.
I love
You're
you.
adorable.
You're
Hey,
adorable.
that was a great podcast. That
Thank
was a
you.
great topic, baby.
Yeah.
And for you listeners, hopefully, we gave you some solutions to helping you to feel more free in your relationship if that's something you guys are striving for. And overall, it starts with you, first of all, understanding what freedom means to you, and then having the conversations with your partner, and then being willing to give that back to your partner in return.
Yeah.
It works both ways.
And I think it also is tapping into some compassion and empathy and recognizing that you're individuals that came together to build a life, not to control and dominate each other. You're there for the love, people. Focus on the love.
That's right.
I just want to tell all of you, thank you so much for joining us. We really love and appreciate you. That's our story. We're sticking to it because it's true. So thank you all so much for joining us.
That's right. And if you guys haven't got a chance to get a copy of our book, Crack the Code, Secrets to Achieving Your Happily Ever After, make sure you pick up a copy today, available at Amazon.com. And if you guys are interested in coaching with the amazing Clarks, you can coach with us on Zoom, you can coach with us by phone, or if you're in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, you can even coach with us in person. And last but not least, if you guys are interested in becoming life coaches, or if you just want to learn some skills to learn how to life coach yourself or the people around you, or maybe even in your business, then check out our life coach training and certification course at Law of Attraction, lifecoachacademy.com.
And be sure to head on over to our socials at The Amazing Clarks on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So you guys, remember this. Remember to go there, you gotta grow there.
That's right. So there you go, people. We gave it to you. Now what you gonna do with it?
Love the Amazing Clarks.